What's up guys, welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be going over my first impressions of Sindel. So in this video I'm going to be mostly going over like her universal stuff and like how she is as a base character, and then in another video I'll get like more specific on like the variations and how they work, but I'm going to cover a little bit about each variation here. So let's first go over like her universal attacks, right? So let's see like her short hops. So her short kick is a double hitting overhead, which is pretty cool. And it does decent damage too, and it will definitely like, it's a little trick that will catch people off guard. I mean, in general, short hops catch people off guard anyway, but having a double hit, which is like the only one that has it in the game, is pretty cool. And then her punch short hop is kind of ridiculous. Like, this thing goes like super far. Like, look at this crap, like all the way over here. And I think this is like max range where I'm standing. Let me see. Just right here, which is amazing. And then we're gonna look at her low pokes. Now in terms of her low pokes, they're kind of meh. Like this one's 8 frames, which is a pretty slow jab, and like the recovery is really bad. You can kind of tell like when you press the button how long it takes for her to jump. And then if you look at her down 3, it has decent range and it's plus 14, which is cool, but like it's 13 frames startup, so it's kind of lame when it comes to like getting out of pressure or like a little good poke or whatever. And then her down 4 is 9 frames, which in itself would be really good if it had more than like a stubby range. Like right here, well, it goes like right here, which is pretty lame for a down 4. Down 4s are usually like a longer range move, but for Sindel it's actually her down 3. And then when it comes to her uppercut, it's freaking amazing. Like it goes super high up. It's like her go-to anti-air, has really good horizontal range, and it's literally like something you can use in neutral. That's how freaking good it is, because uppercuts in general on block, they have pretty good pushback, so this thing is amazing. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at her strings. So the first one is her, like one of her best go-to punish ones, right? This is start up 7 frames. It's her 1-1-2, which is pretty cool. It has really good pushback. I mean, it does have a flawless block gap at the last hit, but it's kind of tight, and like it's not too much risk to it, because this move you can stagger it a lot, so this is pretty cool. Alright, so this next one is the 2-3-4. This one's pretty good. Like the stand 2 has like a pretty decent range, but like it is high, but it's still a pretty good move to use, and it's actually pretty good to use in like combo ender situations and stuff like that. And then this one, her forward 2-1, that's her overhead string, so it can go into a safe mid or it can go to an unsafe low. But the reason why you would want to do the unsafe low sometimes is because there's a big flawless block gap between that and right here. Like you can flawless block the last hit of that and then get like a full combo punish. And it's not really good to stagger this move because it is minus 15 on block, and there's no real safe special moves Sindel can cancel too, but we'll get to that. And then this one is another one of her mids, which is a back 3. Kind of sucks. It starts up at 19 frames, but like it's pretty cool. So it has a mid low overhead, or has a mid low and 2 like plus frames of a high. But the thing with this high is, for most characters, even though you're blocking, it's gonna completely whiff. Alright, so here I have her holding block, and even though she's holding block, see that completely whiffs. Most highs, like this is a high right here, or stand 1, it will hit the opponent if they're crouch blocking, and of course it will whiff if they're just ducking. But this move, it literally completely whiffs. So the way you get that to work is you'll be conditioning them to block overhead, and then since they're going to be blocking high anyway, you'll actually be able to get your plus frames. But the thing with that is, like the overhead itself, that is minus 12, which kind of sucks. And then obviously if you do this and they duck the high, that's a free down 2 crushing blow or whatever, they get a full combo on you. So that string itself has a lot of risk to it. I mean, you could stagger it. It is minus 9. You're not really going to get punished for it unless the opponent reads you're going to stagger it, because they're going to be deciding, okay, do I block overhead, or do I block like or do I duck the last attack. So the string's okay, but it's still not a good mid because it starts off at 19 frames. And then we go into her forward 4, which is definitely her best mid, but she doesn't get too much for it. So it's forward 4 up 3 is a full string, has crazy pushback, and you're pretty much safe, to be honest. You're not going to get punished for it unless it's like a character like Sub-Zero with their slide or whatever, but this is really good for creating space. And honestly, you can use this for a combo starter too. Like if you get a whiff punish, you can go straight into a combo with that. And another move she got is her back 2. This is pretty good. It's like, it's a juggle, and even if they block it, like it's minus 17 on block, but you get so much pushback. So it's a pretty safe move to do. And they have to worry about this low and the overhead, which both is a combo starter. And then she has her standing 4. It's like an instant like high overhead. It's kind of whatever, but it's like, you know, it's a useful move just to throw off the opponent for a second, because they don't always, like if you do a jump in then you go straight into this, they're not going to expect an overhead right away, because this overhead's really slow. So they're able to react to that because this starts off in 25 frames, but this move's kind of quick. They won't expect that overhead coming, so it's kind of cool. It's something. So I just want to show you real quick her 2 flawless block gaps I mentioned earlier. So her 1-1-2, there's a gap there. It still keeps it minus 8, but the opponent is closer, and they have a decent up 2 like Gearus. They can definitely punish you for it. And then this string here is an obvious flawless block gap, makes it minus 13. She is pretty close, so pretty much the whole cast can punish it if they get a flawless block. So now let's go over her special moves. So her first one is this move right here. It's like a little hair grab, so it's like, it's a decent combo ender. Like, doesn't really matter what variation you have, you can do this and the combo with that. And of course the first variation has, you know, a lot more combos you can do, but it's pretty good. It leaves you at a pretty good range. It's actually perfect for a forward 2, which has the redonkulous range, the most range I've ever seen of any move, and it's a freaking overhead, which is amazing, but it leaves you at the perfect space for that. Then her next move is her scream. So it's kind of like, you know, the ex-girlfriend you broke up with just kept screaming all the time. That's pretty much what Sindel is. She's just gonna keep yapping at you and yapping at you, but like, it is not that good on block. This move, let's see, it is minus 20, minus 21 on block, so it's kind of bad either way. I mean, you could enhance it, and it has like crazy range, which is pretty cool. And what's awesome about this move, it has 2 things. If you hold it, you see when she turns pink like that, if you hold it to when she turns pink, you see I have 77 hit advantage, which means I have enough time to dash, get a full jump in, and do an entire combo. And on top of that, this move, it gets a crushing blow on counter hit or punish, which is really good. And it's the same idea as if you got the delayed hold version of it. It would, you know, allow you to do a dash, jump, full combo, which is really, really good. And on top of that, this move actually has a cancel as well. You just press back at R2, and you can actually get some legitimate pressure with this. So you can do like, so Sindel is also able to do like a fly special move. Now this is pretty cool, but like, she can only either dash forward, dash back, or just cancel. You're gonna see, like, if I try to press all the other buttons, like no actual attack comes out. So you can't use this as like crazy little shenanigans, but it's a way to like escape pressure. Like if I were to do something like this, I can like just dash back. So it's a pretty cool way to get an escape, but it's really not all that useful. Now before I go into her variation specific moves, let me just talk about how I think about her as like a base character. So I feel that she excels like in the mid range. Like she excels like right here, because her overhead has like ridiculous range. It's really, really good, super far, and that's where basically all her combos can come from. She's either gonna mix you up with the overhead, she might mix you up with this low attack. She has, I mean, this mid's kind of slow, but then again, it has a 50-50, has a low overhead, or has a low into plus frames, which is pretty cool. This move is pretty much her punish string, has good pushback. This move has good pushback. So this character, like, if you notice, most of her moves have amazing pushback. They keep the opponent away from her because she doesn't want to be up close. She has a bad down 1, her down 4 sucks. This has good range, but it's super slow. She has an amazing uppercut because she's meant to anti-air with that and just keep you away, because that's how she's really meant to be played. I don't see her as a rushdown character. I mean, she does have the cancels, which maybe you can use that in like some kind of pseudo pressure, but it's not like Cabal's pressure, because Cabal's pressure, when you do the cancels, you can actually get B+ in some situations. Now I'm sure you can do it in this variation as well, but most of the strings I looked at, you just become less minus, so it's not really a real setup. You could still be down 1 and stuff like that out of those situations, so it's not real. Like, her frame data is not good, which makes sense considering the character she is. She excels from like over here to like mid-range over here she's pretty good, where she can hit you with that string, but like right here is where she's really bad. And when she gets in the corner, she has like a hard time with her defense, because honestly, like, you can outspace her down 4, which is honestly her best counter response, besides this move of course. But this startup is 14 frames. I mean, this is really good. You do that when you're cornered and it creates a lot of space, but like, you have to get out a 14 frame move, which is not always the easiest thing to do in pressure. So let's go into variation specific things. Now I'm going to go way more in depth with each variation like in a future video, but for now I'm just going to cover like the basics of like what each variation is supposed to do and how it exactly plays. So this one, the first variation, is definitely her combo variation, because like she can go to pretty much any string and combo into this move. So this is her juggle, so she can do enhance to this, enhance to this, and she gets dumb damage like super easily. Yeah, and she gets crazy damage. She can easily bypass the 500 mark if she gets a crushing blow, or if she gets a down 2 crushing blow. Heck, a jump kick. Let me show you a jump kick. She can get ridiculous damage off like a freaking jump kick. She gets 421 off a jump kick, and it's super easy to confirm. You just press forward 4, like, and it goes so far. Like, so this variation does crazy damage, and this variation has even more 50-50s because of her whip and flip, because of this nonsense. It goes like, you can make it go, look, you can make it go super far, like full screen, make it go close, or make it go mid screen, and that thing is an overhead. So think about this, you have this string, right? So it ends in a low, so instead of ending in a low, you can go into the overhead, or you can just go into the low. Now granted, both are very unsafe. The low is very punishable, and then this hair whip is minus 22, as it should be, but it's still like a crazy 50-50. And this move, it really is for catching people out of the air. If they jump a lot in the air or whatever, they try to zone you by jumping into projectiles, you just throw this crap out and you just pull it from the air, and it's really good. And I forgot to mention, of course, this move is punishable. I mean, it is her combo starter, as it should be. It's minus 17 and then minus 16 if you enhance it. And of course, you're right in the opponent's face, so you obviously going to want to hit confirm that. So yeah, this variation is mostly for combos. I don't think it's her best one though, because I think she's more of a spacing character, and this variation seems like it wants you to get in and get combos, but her frame data is bad. She's not meant to really get in. I mean, she can whiff punish you and get combos and stuff, like if she whiffs with this, but that doesn't even combo at all ranges, just so you know. You have to be like over here, because otherwise, if you're like at max range, you're gonna want to combo with her hair thing. But yeah, I don't see this being her good variation. It's the easiest one to play for sure, but you really like have to go in with it, and her frame data is not good, and this is, I don't think that's how she's meant to be played. Alright, and our second variation, this one's pretty interesting. Alright, so the first move this one gets, this one has like a modified version of the shriek, where she can like hold it and walk forward and then come at you, which is pretty interesting, but like I don't see how it's honestly all that useful. So this one gets a crushing blow if you like hit the opponent after walking a far distance. Now I don't see anybody getting hit by that, to be honest with you, but I guess it's okay. And this move is not a restand at all. Like, this move actually just legit knocks the opponent back, and I'm just interested to see how it is on block. It is minus 15, so it's not really safe. Let's see if I hold it, see if it's like less minus. Nah, it's still minus 17, so it's not that good. And they gave her the same shriek she had in the other variation. They just changed the inputs. Instead of back forward 2, it's down forward 2. But it's the same. You can hold it and cancel it the same way, so that's okay. It's whatever. And this is what makes her really cool. So she has this freaking scream nonsense. So she can like do a jump attack and scream and do another jump attack, which is like shenanigans in itself. And then her other special move, she has this air banshee thing. So like she can just jump back, throw this thing, and if it hits you, she can meter burn it, and she'll be right in your face, and then can do like a full combo. So she can do basically this into that. This, see if I get it this time. Oh, but yeah, you can like do like, I don't know how many that was, like 6 or 8 jump 2s in one combo, and that's pretty crazy. Now that is kind of hard to do, because like you have to land like a jump 2, and like the only real way to get it done is if you like, you gotta get like a stun somehow, or like a punish. So like, you know, the way you get stuns in this one is if you hold this for a second, you get a stun there, then you can get a jump in combo. And this one doesn't actually combo either, but like if you were to get like a crushing blow with this or a crushing blow with this, then you can get that combo. But honestly, aside from that, I don't see you actually landing that too much in a match. It's more for the shenanigans, because you can like stand one, let me see if we can do stand one, cancel, jump kick, like stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So this variation has the potential to be really good. It just depends on like what people find and stuff like that, but I'm sure it will have like crazy setups. Alright, and our third variation is the last one. So this one is my personal favorite. I like spacing and zoning, and I think this is the one that she's meant to be, because she has such a long range normals and whatnot. So this one, she has this thing, which is nonsense, is unblockable attacks, which each do like 10 damage. You can have a max of 3 on the field at once, and they all do 10 damage, so that's like really good to close out a game. The opponent's about to die and they're forced to come to you. You just throw these things and they're pretty much screwed. They can't get to you. And on top of that, in terms of zoning, she has her air projectiles, which is pretty cool. Now let me see what they actually are on block. I'm kind of curious because I was using it yesterday and no one seemed to punish it at all. So let's see. If I do it from up here, minus 18, but I have pretty good spacing. Let me see if I'm really close to the ground. Minus 19. So this is very punishable for like characters like Sub-Zero or anyone that has an interesting like dash kick or whatever. But for the most part, you're going to be pretty much safe. And you can do this crap off like a jump kick. You can jump in and then do that crap, and look at that space. That's really good. Now if you enhance it, I think it is more minus. Yeah, if you look, it's minus 29 if you enhance it. So only enhance it to get a combo, which you can get a combo off that, which is really amazing. And actually when you enhance this, it's actually, the last part is a low. You know, so it's not going to catch most people off guard. Well, it's going to catch people off guard at first when they don't know about it. But you're really going to want to hit confirm it, because, you know, this is the overhead low setup. But like there's like the first 2 shots are mid, so it's not really a mix up there, you know. So don't throw out the EX unless you know, confirm the hit. And then the last thing, she gets this move, so she could be like a pretty good zoner with this. This is definitely her zone variation. It's a low projectile. Let me see how much damage it does. I think it does like 70. Yeah, it does 70, which is pretty cool. So this is definitely like her keep away variation. She shoots projectiles. You try to get close when she's about to die. You do this. You anti-air with this. Her standard one's not bad for anti-airs either. You can throw this to throw the opponent off. Now it doesn't hit the opponent in the air. Like it has a certain hitbox above the ground, but it won't like air to air the opponents like Jade's projectiles or anything like that. So like I'm going to show you an example of like the air combo. You do something like this. So this variation is pretty cool. So that's about it for Sindel. I mean, I'm going to go more in depth in each variation and like how to use them and their combos and stuff like that. It'll be too much to put all in one video, so I'm going to save that for next time. So that's about it for the video today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time.